Welcome to another episode of Trade Truths Podcast. Today I have a special guest, someone I met recently. I met her during my podcast photo shoot. She's a wonderful, inspiring young lady. I feel like she has a lot to say, and I feel like her testimony will help a lot of people. So, without further more introduction, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi. Oh my goodness, this is so exciting. Thank you for the introduction. I loved it.
For sure, for sure.
My name is Destiny Phillips, and I just recently moved here to Tampa. I'm from Virginia Beach, and I love having conversations. I love podcasts. I love media and entertainment. So I'm happy to be here, and hopefully we can entertain you guys with truth and testimony.
For
Okay?
sure, for sure. So, I always ask every guest that I have before we dive into anything, how are you doing mentally?
Good question. I'm doing okay. I'm doing good, I would say. In life you will always have your ups and downs, but I feel like one thing that keeps me okay and sane is just my hope in God, and that's just the truth. Like things can look crazy, and yes, I may feel crazy and be like, God, what's going on?
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, I know that things will be okay.
Okay.
So yeah, that's where
And
I'm at.
and how would you explain like good? Like, is there anything specific going on or any like things that you feel like are challenging you or that you're learning as a person?
Yes. So, like I mentioned, I just moved here in June of 2025. I graduated college in May. I moved here by myself. I didn't have any friends, I didn't have any family here. I just felt called here, and I prayed about this. I made a prayer board, and I really took this move serious. And yeah, so with that, something that I'm learning is my alone time, because I came from a house. I had 3 siblings, a crazy dog, a loud grandma. My mom is loud too, love her. So it was just a full house, and we had so many people come over every weekend. I'm Filipino, so we have karaoke every weekend. So we used to have so much fun, and me being here, it's like I'm by
It's
myself.
quiet.
It's quiet. And I'm like, "Dang."
Mhm,
So sometimes, I do pray for friends and things of that sort, to kinda make this move, my new place, a home.
mhm,
I haven't quite gotten there yet, but I've been making it as as comfortable as I can.
mhm,
I got a dog, and I have some friends, and I joined a church, and I serve at the church, and I got a good job that, I met a lot of people through, so things are starting to settle. Things are starting to settle.
mhm. The wheels are moving. So, out of because you said something and it kind of resonates with myself. I think whenever life
Mhm.
gets very quiet, it allows you to think, but that thinking can be also negative because now you're wondering what else am I missing? What else isn't present? And
Oh, Lord.
it'll have you thinking like, what's going on? Am I really doing what I need to be doing? Am I fulfilling my purpose or am I just not looking at the right picture? Is this really working out for me? So my question to you is, what do you feel like, in this time of quietness, what do you feel like is the missing puzzle? Because like you said, friends, but can always, make friends. It's not as easy as it is in today's society, but what do you feel like is the missing puzzle to that quietness?
You're getting deep already. It's so crazy because, man, this is something that I've been thinking about and literally talking to the people around me about. Lately, I haven't felt like, quote unquote, satisfied.
Mhm,
And that sounds really bad, but that's the truth. And I had to ask God, like, what is this? Like, help me, help my heart posture.
mhm,
Um, at the job that I have, praise the Lord, but my performance has been really good, and I get a lot of applause for it and everything. And I'm like, okay, that's great, but I want to do more. I need more. I need more. And, I have a nice friend, and I have nice friends and family and everything. And it's beautiful. And I'm just like, well, I want things to move faster. Like,
mhm,
and it's like I can never be satisfied. And I'm truly blessed. But why do I have days where I'm like, what am I doing? I
Mhm,
feel like I'm behind. I feel like nothing's moving. And it's like, God, I'm so sorry because I know that I have so many things
mhm,
that I need. But I guess it's just like these wants and it makes things feel empty
mhm,
because I want to fill it up.
mhm,
But I've learned that you just can't fill it up with
mhm,
any material thing.
mhm.
I have to fill it up with God, and I feel like that's something I'm still working with,
Yeah, but
is to just repair my intimacy with him. I feel like as I moved here, things, it wasn't such an easy
well, it's never easy.
journey.
It's never easy.
So I feel like in a way I kind of just got a little complacent
Mhm,
with things, and I'm just learning to get back on track. So,
mhm.
yeah.
Well, I'll say this to you, give yourself grace. And,
Mm.
and then, coming from somebody that had and still have the mindset that you have now, I could tell right now you're goal driven. You know what I mean? It's not like you're in a rush, it's just you can do more. And with that mindset, it's like, okay, I got this done. Everybody's gonna cheer for it, but like this is not even all I can do.
Yeah.
I want more. And then once you see how much I can handle, you can see my full potential. And it's not like people don't notice it. They
Mm.
know you're capable of much more, but it's like to you, it's like, I don't want to be stagnant. If I'm not doing something, I'm very stagnant, like you said. And my thing with that is I had to learn for myself, over time I've never celebrated graduating. I've never celebrated
Oh,
any
really?
achievements, even my podcast achievements hitting what 500. I think I'm almost at 700, almost at 1,000. I don't celebrate those things, and it took for me to actually look and understand that the saying that I say to myself is now we try to rush to our future like our future is promised. Nothing is really promised in life. So that future that we all rush into, it could be a terrible ending by us just making those impulsive and quick decisions, trying to get there and get there
Mm.
and get there when you don't even appreciate today. It's like putting up paintings of all your achievements, and every time you achieve, you're like, all right, I'm gonna replace it with something that I know is gonna be way bigger in the future. You should want to keep all those old paintings. When you go home or when you go to somebody's house, they got old paintings. Why not cherish your achievements in the moment and hang them up in the wall in your brain and just be like, damn, I really did this? Because there's a lot of people in your foot that want to be where you are or that are in your lane and they quit.
Mm.
You're not quitting. You still here successful, you breathing, you got
Whew.
a house,
Thank
a
you,
home, you
Lord.
got cars, you got a lot of things to be, appreciative. And I didn't appreciate it because I'm like, this ain't like this is just nothing, but it is something. So my advice to you would be to just take a step back and just appreciate all these things because like you said, you can become complacent and sometimes it's like you take it for granted.
Yeah.
When the whole time is like even sometimes when I see you post like I think it was today or the other day, you posted just like the sun, like just being outside, like it's a good day.
Yeah.
Those are the moments you got to really appreciate.
It is. And, with that, because that was so good,
Hmm.
I've tried to do something recently where I'll go somewhere.
Hmm.
I went to the beach. This was like 3, 4 weeks ago. But I went to the beach and I didn't get on my phone at all. Um, and I just people watched and looked at the families and the babies laughing and the waves crashing, and it was really beautiful because, like, that's how it used to be back in the day. And I know I'm a youngin', but I've always been like old soul. I've loved how things were it wasn't so amazing. Everything wasn't great or perfect, but
It was
things were
real.
simple. And I'm not gonna say I miss that because I never dealt with
Experience it.
that, but when I do, I'm like, that's really where we should be. Because also with social media, it's just so hard.
Mhm,
Like everything is so fast paced
mhm,
and you're seeing so many people do so many things and you're just not taking a step to appreciate where you really are.
mhm,
So, just taking a step back, not really being on my phone, kind of getting rid of the non-existent pressure because no one's really pressuring me.
mhm.
It's kind of myself, you know what I'm saying?
It's you versus you.
It's me versus me.
Mhm. It's such a cliche saying, but like honestly, like you are your biggest supporter and your biggest hater. Like whatever words and thoughts you have for yourself,
Mhm.
that will lead into your actions. If you feel like you're not doing enough, you will. it's gonna show in your work. You're gonna be like, all right,
Mm,
I gotta rush through everything. I gotta do more. I gotta do more. Then you're gonna drain yourself. But if
yeah,
you feel like you're doing enough, you're gonna show yourself love. You're gonna be passionate about a lot of things. You're gonna want to do a lot of things more on your time and when it's the time is right, and you can control whatever you want to control.
yeah.
That's the missing piece that a lot of people, should have. And I'm somebody that is missing that piece. But I'm learning to, deal with it appropriately.
What do you think is your missing piece?
My missing piece is I really think it's patience. So like
Mm,
I'm in a season of my life where previously my upbringing wasn't bad, I wasn't homeless or anything, but I suffered very like depression and things like that. And I've shared it with the people that watch my stuff.
mhm,
But now that I'm in a space to where I had the things that I wanted for like for instance, like money, friends, my own home, my own car, I have all these things, but it's just times where I just wake up and I just be like, what am I even doing? Like, what is life? And I question myself and it makes me question my purpose. And I'm like, am I doing the right thing? But I hear from other people, they love what I'm doing. It's impacting them. So am I doing the right thing? Or is it me internally thinking like you just rushing yourself? You trying to be this future Trey when the future Trey don't even know you exist right now. So it's like that's the battle I'm facing. It's patience. You know what I mean?
wow.
It took me a long time. Like what you're saying, what you're going through, the isolation and just the quietness, I went through that, and it's probably the hardest things because you can go back to what was comfortable. This is an option. This is not forced on you.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And it's like you look in the back of your head and you be like, I can just go back. It was so simpler back then. But it's that other thought like, but nah, this is for me. So my question to you is, I really wanted to ask you a lot of questions about faith. And we
mm,
don't have to make it spiritual, but my question to you is,
mhm.
how do you remain solid within your faith when you have that quiet thought in the back of your head?
Whew. Well, for me, something that keeps that faith there is just because I've been in the same position as you. Like, I was in the time depressed
Mhm,
and I had anxiety and all these things. And I had a doctor, this is before I got saved.
mhm,
And I had a doctor and they prescribed me depression and anxiety medication. And I didn't take one pill. And the Lord delivered me from that. And I never grew up in the church. I had like a little foundation of, oh, okay, God, Jesus,
mhm,
he died on the cross
mhm,
and rose 3 days later. Like I knew that stuff, but um, I just didn't live that. And when I got to a point where I was just really low and
mhm,
I had nobody. I really did like I didn't. I really didn't. It was to a point where I was like, God, like, what's the point of me? I was never like, you know, um, trying to take my life or anything, but I was thinking like, God, what is the purpose of being here if everything is just gonna hurt me?
mhm,
Like if I can't just be happy, like what's the purpose? What's the purpose of this sadness that I'm feeling right now?
mhm,
Because I had a lot of things happen to me back to back, and in that place, that's where God met me.
mhm,
And every time I think about that, I was just in a hallway by myself crying in the hallway, like, on my knees, like, chest on the floor, like, I didn't have the just seemed like I didn't really have the effort to just get up and, see the bright side, but God definitely helped me with that, and I feel like that's really where my faith lays is me knowing that he was there at a time that
with your
I felt
lost.
like I didn't have anything.
Mhm.
And that's really that, like, nail in my faith is because I 'cause I've experienced it myself.
Mhm, that's real, and my question that I also want to ask you too, and you kinda answered it, but, you know, my biggest thing is, and I'm gonna be transparent, I've said it on here, I think once or twice. My thing is like how you were. I believe in God. I know I was forced in church, but I
Mm,
know enough to where it's like I understand God and I know
yeah,
He's my God. This is my Almighty. This is who I pray to.
mhm,
Um, and my thing is this, and I said this on here, like I said plenty of times. I question myself sometimes, as a young man, am I enough to even ask God for anything? So let me
Lie
finish.
from the enemy.
Let me finish. And the thing is, what I learned is that, I learned this in church. The devil will come to you at your best times and at your worst times, but you always have to be on your 10 toes. And when I used to sit and question myself, I used to be like, am I worth anything? Am I even worth being here? Am I even helping anybody? Am I helping myself?
Mm.
But the thing is, what stopped me from seeking that extra knowledge within the Bible is that, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people agree with this, they don't have the knowledge. I think the knowledge is key when you enter something on a different level, especially spiritually. You see everybody else, they know it all. They know verses, they know the people that's in the Bible, they know everything. And when you enter a world like that, it's kind of like, you get to that threshold, you're like, damn, do I really want to cross this? Because am I going to be judged or am I going to be somebody that they accept without the knowledge? So I say that to say this. How would you, advise somebody? I'm not even gonna say somebody, somebody like myself. I want to be able to, you know, go to God because I know that everything I have is from him, but it's like I feel selfish asking because I don't know anything. I don't know anything. You know what I mean? How do you advise somebody like me that doesn't have the knowledge of the Bible or any testaments or anything like that? How do you advise me to be able to, just connect?
Well, that's a good question. You really and why I had those facial expressions because I feel you. I've
Hmm.
been there. I really have been.
Hmm.
I didn't know anything when I got saved. I didn't. Like, I didn't know any Bible verses. Like, I remember when I first got saved and I ran downstairs and my mom was sitting in the dining room table. And I'm like, Mom, I just read about Jesus. And I was excited. And this is at my big age. You know what I'm saying? I was 19 at the time. But, like, I never had any of that. And God does not shun you away for that. He wants you to come closer to him.
Hmm.
Now, the thing about like the knowledge is like if you want that knowledge, then you go to God and like ask for wisdom. Matthew 7, chapter 7, verse 7 says, knock on the door and you will find it. Like asking you shall receive, knock on the door and you will find it. Door will be open to you, right? And if you have something that you want to ask God for, then just ask him. Like he's not gonna tell you to get away from me or anything. He wants you to come. And also to like, don't keep yourself from going closer to God. I'm also talking to myself about that. Cause sometimes I would feel like, well, I just did this horrible thing tonight that I knew I shouldn't have done. And now I feel scared to talk to God and come to him after I just completely did something that he didn't want me to do.
Hmm.
He still wants you to come. Like he loves you so much. So it's not like, oh, do I know more? Do I have to know more? Do I have to do this? Do I have to be perfect? No, you have to come as you are. That's everything. Like all these people in the Bible, like they had their own things too.
Hmm.
And God still was there for them. God still helped them overcome. And that's with everybody.
Hmm.
His salvation is for everybody, for all people. It's not for people who know all the verses in the Bible. It's not for all the people who are just so perfect and don't do anything because all of us sin.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, um, no, like
Yeah.
he wants to talk to you. Oh, and then here's the other thing that you mentioned: be honest with him and you talk to him. Like when you pray, when you go to him, you don't have to make it sound so here he, here he. You know what I'm saying? Like just be yourself.
Yeah.
And be honest. If you're not feeling good, it's like, God, like honestly, I know I'm blessed and have a great day today. I just ask that you give me your joy. The joy of the Lord is my strength. Like give me you. Just come to him with truth.
Mhm.
With the tray of truth. Literally.
For sure.
He listens to that.
Mhm. I believe it because I mean, it shows, and I tell myself all the time, I used to be my biggest hater. And that's why I said, like, we are our biggest haters and biggest supporters. I didn't realize it for so long because I'd be like, man, like, you fucking suck. Like, I'm very like, I'm a very blunt and honest person. Like, I look myself in the mirror. At times I didn't when I was going through my depression. I never wanted to look in the mirror. Like, it was times where it's like, I could be getting ready for, to go to work, go to anything. I don't wanna look in the mirror. Like, I don't understand this version of myself.
Mm,
So it took me a lot, and this didn't change until recently, until December 2024. I was able to understand who is this man in the mirror and who I was pretending to be. It was twofold.
mm.
You gotta really understand that, and it takes a lot, you know what I mean, to be able to just be real with yourself, because a lot of people can't do it. So the reason why I ask you that is because it's like to this day, like, I have a church home that I go to, but I haven't been in a long time because it's like when I went, I'm like, it feels right. Everything feels right. But I feel like it's just like, I don't know. I'm not like, I don't want to say not worthy, but I just don't fit in. So me seeing everybody else, I'm just like, damn, okay, this person doing that, this person doing that. But like what I learned in church as well too, comparison is the thief of joy. And
It is.
it's like, now I'm like, okay, now I'm getting back in that groove. Like, bro, like I look at everything that done happened since I had my awakening, and it's God consistently. And I'm not in the church, but He's still providing.
Mhm.
So it's like, I just need to hear something like that. You know what I mean? But my question for you now is, through your battles of depression. I don't know if you want to go into what you experienced, but how would you advise other people to get closer to God? You know what I mean? Because a lot of people want to, but they don't know how to. Your experience may be different from others. Some people may not be at their highest, some people may not be at their lowest. They may be at that midline point where they got one foot in, one foot out.
Mm.
So what do you think is that extra push that everybody could use to get closer?
It's one word, and it is surrender. Is surrender. Um, when I used to feel that way, when I was really at that low place, I was trying to do everything on my own. I was trying to understand everything on my own. Like I just mentioned, I just asked God, I'm like, what's the point of life if I'm not gonna be happy? I'm like trying to like piece all these things together and try to understand why I'm here, trying to understand why I'm living, my purpose, trying to understand all these things. And Proverbs 3, 5, 6, like verse 5 and 6, it says to not like lean on your own understanding. You have to lean on the Lord.
You know it's
Cause
crazy?
I
You
try
know it's
to make
crazy?
mhm,
Sorry to cut you off, but it's crazy you say that because I was just looking at Proverbs 2 days ago.
mhm.
And I didn't read much because what I do is from time to time, based on, like I tell people all the time, our life is in the Bible. Whatever situation you go through is in the Bible.
It
So
is.
sometimes I would look up what I'm going through and I'm like, Bible verse that relates to it. I see nothing but Proverbs. And I think Proverbs is that I like I said, I haven't read it. I don't know much about it, but I think it's that understanding, that it's that outreach.
Mhm,
'Cause I think in Proverbs, it's more of like leaning on others in order to restore yourself, or leaning towards God to restore yourself. I think that's from what I've seen,
mhm.
that's what Proverbs is about. So I just wanted to share that because that's crazy that you mentioned that. And I was just like, damn, I just literally looked that up 2 days ago.
Yeah,
But
lean not on your own understanding. Like every time I get in my thoughts, it's because I'm always trying to understand something or I'm trying to like think too deep about stuff.
mhm.
And then you mentioned something where you said like you don't sometimes you don't feel worthy. I would say go to the word about that. And I'm talking to myself when I say this. I have to do the same thing. And you have to do it constantly because every day you're going to have to pick up your cross. Every day you're going to have to, like, you're going to have to go to God. Okay. And there's days where I just, there'll be something that's happening. And then my own thoughts, my own head, I'd be like, oh, maybe I have too much going on. I don't feel right going to God about it. Like, no, that's a lie. But, cause I used to work in debt collections. This was the job that I had right before I moved here, and people used to call me all types of names. And, this one lady was like, the job that you" she was on the other line, and she was like, "The job that you have, you suck. Get a better job. You're useless. You just call people and harass people and all this stuff." And I'm like, I was speechless. And I literally wanted to, like, shed a tear because she literally was like, "You're useless. you're dumb, all this stuff. And I had to tell myself right after the call, verses from the word. The Lord says that he made you in his image. We are made in God's image. He also said that we're fearfully and wonderfully made.
Mhm.
Go to the word and read about your identity.
Mhm.
Read about who you are, who God made you to be.
That's
That's
real.
that's what it's about.
Mhm.
And you're gonna have to, I'm not gonna say you're gonna have to read it one time and everything's okay. No, you're gonna have
Uh,
to constantly go back to that word.
consistency is key. And
Yeah.
whenever I went through my first situation, and this ties into the part where I said like people having one foot in, one foot out.
Mhm,
When I went through my situation, which I don't agree with, I went through a terrible situation where it was like I was emotionally devastated, probably at my lowest, where I had to really look in that mirror,
mhm,
and I went to God. You know, granted, I went for a unselfish reason because it was for me,
mhm.
not because of the actual aspect of it. I went because this is my lowest. I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
And it was for me. It wasn't because I wanted to learn. It wasn't because something just spoke to me. It's because I wanted to understand something that will help.
Mhm.
And I was reading the Bible and I'm like, damn, like, you know, I hate to say this, but like God really didn't play with people. When I was reading Matthew, you know what I mean? And I'm like, it humbled me because it's like it's so much other stuff going on in this world. And I'm sitting here, emotional and about to throw myself away when it's like so much other stuff going on. And
Mm,
all these other people will reach out and try to do this and take this from God and do this. And I'm just like, "Bro, you're not really doing that bad." And that's when I had that talk in the mirror and I understood. Like it was one of my episodes. I think it was my third episode.
mhm,
And that was my moment of coming out and, telling whoever watched it or whoever knows me my truth. And I feel like that set me up for the person that I am today. So my question to you now is how do you consistently, show up? Because like we said before the cameras even started, like I said, like you have a nice bubbly energy. And you know what I
thank
mean?
you.
To hear that, people like us, that have some positives that we go through things, whether it be depression, emotionally, physically, we go through things. How do you remain, whole, especially while showing up for other people?
I'll be completely honest. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm human, we're all human, and there's times where I feel so exhausted that I may not show up as much as I can for other people,
Mhm.
and there
There's
may be,
nothing wrong with that.
and because it's like, dang, I don't even have that. I don't have the means to pick myself up,
Mhm,
But even so, I do be there. Like I'm there for a lot of the people around me. I like to think that I am,
mhm.
and even if you can't physically be there, you can be there through them in prayer for them in prayer. And that's something that I'm like learning to do better with. Is being there for the people around me, and it's not just my friends, my family. It's like you mentioned, there's people that are going through a lot, and I feel like this year God's working on my heart posture to make me a better like servant, a better like woman of God, because I have so much work.
What
Seriously.
work do you feel like you have though? Like I mean, like
Woo!
in a
Hey, look.
realistic aspect. The reason why I ask that question is because we're young. Of course, we have a lot of things that we need to do.
Yeah.
But in a realistic aspect, what work do you feel like you have to do at this point in age, today's time, at your current age? What work do you feel like you have to do?
It wouldn't hurt being like a more generous person.
You don't feel like you're generous?
I feel like I am, but I feel there's and God can do anything,
Mhm.
but I just I see people like on the street, or I know people who are going through something so bad, and I want to help them, but I can't do everything, you know what I'm saying?
My
But
point.
I do give when I'm able to.
Mhm.
But like being generous isn't just so like a physical or money thing
Mhm.
either. I think that
Whoa, whoa. I know you're too busy watching the episode, but just take a moment to look at the link down below. Make sure you subscribe to the Truth Lounge. Make sure you join the Truth family. Living your truth. This is the perfect place to be, and I appreciate you for tuning in and watching the episode.
also my patience needs to be worked on. My thoughts in my head, the ones that I have, like, going against myself,
Mhm.
that needs to go in Jesus' name. You know what I'm saying? There's just a lot of, like, character development that I feel like I need to work on. Of course, I know you mentioned people tell you to be a therapist, so you might know a little bit about this, but, when you go through, like, trauma or something in your childhood, like, those things stick around and they need to go, of
Mhm,
course, and you can learn and outgrow them.
mhm,
But, there's certain things and ways that I communicate that I can do better with, and that's just the truth. So, of course, I'm gonna always need till the day that I go,
mhm,
I'm gonna always need, like, to learn. Always gonna learn so much forever. Like, there's never gonna be a day where I'm not gonna learn. I'm never too old to learn.
mhm.
I know I'm young, but but yeah, like, I'm forever, even when I'm an elder person, God willing, to learn how to be a better person. Even
That's
in
good.
your older days, people actually get really mean.
Mhm. Oh, yeah. 'Cause they're 'cause because and this is why I said what I said earlier. The people that are mean when they're older, that future that they were racing to, they didn't they it wasn't there for them when they got there. So all the mistakes they made on the way and they didn't take time to look at and the things that they didn't take time to appreciate, now that makes them bitter and angry because they like, "I went through all this to end up here, and then you think you finna come around me all like, ha, ha, ha." No, because you don't you don't know what I went through, and you meeting me at a level where I'm not at. So that's why I say, like, people wanna race to the finish line, but every time I love using metaphors and different things. How I look at it is like this: you got a long ass race to go.
Mm,
In this race, it's a lot of potholes, it's a lot of cracks, it's a lot of stop signs. Are you gonna go through all the bumps? You're gonna hit your car, get the bumper messed up, run the stop sign, probably somebody tailbone you, all these different things just to get to the end and say you finished first and have a fucked up car, meaning your body, your mental.
mm,
Are you gonna race to just say you finished first, or are you gonna take your time and be able to weave all these things and accept what's happening? Maybe you gotta stop at that stop sign because somebody gotta get past that really need to get past.
And if you move prematurely, you gonna T-bone somebody. Here's the thing with that, cause that was good.
Mhm.
Um, the devil, that's like one of the works, like, the tools that he uses is we think that we're not doing enough, we're not
Yeah.
moving fast enough,
Mhm.
and that's when we do things prematurely or do things outside of God's will,
Mhm.
and that's when havoc happens.
Yeah.
God, like, he looks at the bigger picture. He's not looking at, "Oh, you need this right now." Like, he gives you things when you're ready for them.
Mhm.
Like, he's gonna bless you with something when you are able to steward it well.
Mhm.
Now, you may be praying to God about something and you may not be hearing from him. It's because probably he's trying to work on your character
Trying to teach you something.
so that when you are ready for it, you be able to take care of it and not only take care of it for yourself, but give it to other people and bless other people because
Mhm.
other people's salvation is attached to us too, like the things that we say, the things like that's why we gotta talk to people, encourage people, be nice to people, be generous to people,
Gotta give back to society.
because yeah, they see that. And when you're giving Jesus's love to people, that's when they like, huh, what is it about her? Like, why is she so happy though?
Mhm.
And then they start to be curious, and that's how it happens. And then they start being generous to other people, giving to other people. It's literally like a domino effect.
That's all it is.
That's what it is.
That's all I tell people all the time. Everything in life is a domino effect. If it
Yeah.
makes sense, it will happen. And some things
Yes.
we think don't make sense. Like when we fail, when we don't achieve something, oh, this don't make sense. This ain't supposed to happen to me. And when it is, because you're supposed to learn something from it. Every action has a consequence, whether it's good or bad. And with those consequences, either you learn from them or you gain from them. Well, you gain regardless. So yeah, I can go into that, but I'm gonna stay away from it because that's I
You
always
can go in a little
yeah.
rabbit hole.
Yeah, I could that's really my thing. Is just like people don't understand that. And it took me time to understand it too. But even I grasped that concept when I got to college, like
Mhm.
this is gonna happen to me regardless. I can't be the fixer that I think I can be because God already has everything lined up for me. I can't go skipping the page 120 in God's book. it's just not realistic. Everything's gonna happen. Like, for instance, I got in a car accident. I tell people all the time, I ain't getting no damn car accident. It happened. And it wasn't my fault. It just happened, but I always used to, it ain't gonna happen to me. If it does, I'm gonna get a lawsuit. Oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that. Flipping all these pages, life go on. Somebody hit me. I ain't get no money. My car got fixed. But that's just God showing me, like, you don't have the control you think you have.
Phew. That's why you have to surrender, 'cause then you're gonna make yourself crazy when you try to control everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's
So,
true.
so my question to you now is, we touched on a lot of topics about, in a sense, I would say, that's around mental health, and
Faith.
just, you know, like you just mentioned before, surrendering and accepting. So, what is one thing, and this may be a little deep too. What is one thing that you know, I don't want to say wish you heard more, but what is one thing you wish you could tell your younger self that would
Mm.
just, something that you always wanted to hear, something that you feel like would uplift your spirits in order to, just help out a little bit.
Mm. I literally can see, like, a picture of my younger self right
Mhm.
now,
Go
like,
back to that young girl or
man,
that one season of life where it just was it's tough.
she is, 'cause I'm still her.
Mhm.
Um, she when I was younger, I was very much still a very bubbly person,
Mhm.
smiling all the time and dancing. Still, I dance everywhere I go, and she was just so bright and just her and didn't care about what people thought. She really didn't.
Mhm.
But as she got older, there were some people that, came along and was a
Mhm.
part of my testimony, but that would try to break me down, try to take my light, try to do all these things. And that made me like, dang, like, am I worth to be loved? Like, you know?
Mhm.
And something I would tell her, because I thank God that He brought my light back and it's His light. But something I would tell her is, you're going to be okay. Because everything so far, I'm only 22. But everything I said that I was gonna do when I was younger, I've been able to achieve it. Now, of course, like, there's some things in my childhood, like, where I wanted to be a Disney actress or somebody, right?
Mhm.
Nah, that didn't happen, you know?
You can't
But
though.
the things that needed to did,
Mhm.
because I'm very blessed. I used to say I wanted to move to Florida. I wanna go to Florida. I wanna live here. I never really thought that I really was.
Mhm.
I didn't really think I was gonna do such a move like this. Everybody in my family, they're all in one place in Virginia. They don't move around.
Mhm.
Like, nobody leaves out my city. And I left by myself. And it was because of that prayer board, being in prayer, like, writing stuff down. It also says in the Bible to write your vision down plain. Write it down so you can see it.
Mhm.
And that's what I did, and I'm here, and still to this day, I'm, like, driving, and it's so beautiful, the palm trees, the water, I'm like, "God, I'm really here."
Mhm.
Still to this day, like, my family is gonna be visiting me, on Saturday this week for the very first time. This would be their very first time seeing the way that I live, seeing my very first apartment,
Mhm.
seeing all these things that I've never thought that I would even go or get.
It's a full circle moment.
It really is, and I would just tell her to continue to dream big.
That's really it, man. That's real, you know what I mean? And it's crazy that you say that, I thought you were 23. I don't know why I thought you
I'll be
were 23.
23 this year now.
Oh, see, okay, I know I wasn't
Not too
tripping.
much.
I know I wasn't tripping. The my last guest that I had on here, she was 22 as well too.
Okay.
And, just to give you your flowers, being a young woman, especially on your own, proud of you. You know what I mean?
Thank you very
Because
much.
like I said before, it's a lot of people that want to be where you want to be. It's a lot of people that gave up where you're at right now. So for you to continue to pour into yourself, but also, have that passion of pouring into others and still living life to the best you can, it takes a lot. So, just want to give you flowers on that.
Thank you.
Um, one thing that I do wanna pivot on is just, how was that move for you? Because I think, being somebody that I've moved as well too, but I moved with my cousin, so I wasn't as, by myself, but you being alone, what I mean? Like, I know we talked about the quietness, but how is that process? And how, like you said, you had a prayer board. How was that prayer board aligning with your testimony? How would you, in a sense, define your testimony at this present day? What are you learning? What did you learn, previously before getting here? What did you learn when you got here? And, you know, just in general.
Something that I learned in this season, this whole season, if I were to, I think me being in Florida is a new season, but right before I came here was another. It's really different. But I would say if I were to put this whole move together of me before I moved here and me living here, something I learned is to not tell everybody everything because I had the closest people to me and they would tell me that they didn't see this for me.
Hmm.
Family member.
Oh, I'm gonna let you finish.
You
I
know,
got something to tell you.
my very close. Like I had a coworker who I got really, really close with. And I was like, I want to move to Florida. They told me in front of my face, I don't think it's a good idea.
Mm.
I respond and I say, well, I know what I talked to God about. I know what we talked about. I know what he put on my heart. And
Amen.
that's what you have to continuously say so that you can just continue to do the thing he told you to do. Because if you listen to people, you can't listen to people. Because you're gonna start getting in your head and you're gonna be like, oh, maybe this isn't it. No, let's not do that, right? So I would say that is something that I learned. Um, and getting out of my comfort zone. That's the only way you're gonna learn in life is when you are uncomfortable
Mm.
because you're not in this space to be complacent. You're not in this space to to be okay.
Mhm.
When you're not okay, that's when you get up and you're like, okay, I gotta go. Like you said, I gotta go to God.
Yes.
I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I need to get up. I need to make some money. I need to hustle. Things need to change.
Mind racing.
You know, and I feel like that's something that I learned as well. Um, but this whole move has been so interesting because I feel like a complete different person from how I was last year to now.
Elevation.
Yes. I feel like I've kind of become more of or like the closer version to myself of that, the
Mhm.
goals that I'd like my future self to have. I feel like I'm getting there. I'm learning more about how to be a woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like,
It's like that soft launch before it actually happens.
yes,
Mhm.
I'm not a little girl anymore. And I realize that when I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm here.
It's real life.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And have my own place. I have all these things. I have a big girl job. I'm like, wait, what happened? I'm like, wait, I already graduated college?
Mhm.
What do you mean? I don't remember it being that fast. It went by so fast. So yeah, just learning more about myself, learning about what I like, what I don't like,
Mhm.
learning about what I want, what I don't want.
Mhm. That's what that isolation does for you. Because I'm learning that now.
Mhm.
I've like I said, 2024, the end of the year, big crucial moment happened where I had to face that mirror, and then
Yeah.
I just realized like I used to do for everybody. I used to do for everybody because it made me happy. But
Mm.
it took me not.
Did it make you happy?
It did. I like doing for others because I'm gonna tell you this, right?
Mhm.
And this is why it makes me doing podcasts so easy because no matter what I go through in life, as long as I see other people happy and other people winning, I'm happy because I know Imma go through shit. People don't understand that they gonna go through shit, but I know I am, so it's easier for me to face. Like, I'm willing to jump in the water to save somebody knowing I don't know how to swim, but I know in the back of my head, I can in the moment of me drowning, I can save myself, or somebody will save me if they see me drown. It may not be the closest person to me, it may be somebody that seen me do all the work and all the grinding, they'll throw that lifeline if I can't save myself. So I don't think twice about drowning. I don't think about what could happen with me because I know I'm gonna go through shit. And it's up to me to get myself out of it. But when I help other people, It's like planting that seed and seeing the root grow.
Yeah.
I would rather see that phase. That way, when you make it to where you need to be, it's like I already knew that was gonna happen. I don't wanna
But
meet you at that level.
do you see that for yourself as well?
Absolutely. It's harder for me. It's harder
Yeah.
because like I mentioned earlier, I'm very goal driven. So like I never envisioned myself to have a podcast. I just knew I was a vessel. You know what I mean? Like it's just natural. So when people would tell me like you need to do this, it's not me. I do it because I do it, not because I
Other
want a camera in
people.
front of me. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't want a camera in front of me. I was always low key. You know what I mean? But I do it because it's my heart.
Yeah.
Like you could take the cameras away from me, you could take the mics away from me. I'm still gonna do this. This is me. So I see it for myself, but it's harder because it's like I look back to that kid and I'm be like, man, you still deserve more. And it's that constant battle every day. You wake up, you just like, you got it, but you still deserve more. That kid'll be happy right now, but we want to see him like it's like tears of joy. You want to see him have tears of joy. You don't want to just see him happy because, like you said, that younger version of you is still in you. That
Mhm.
that version of me, when I went through all my depression and trauma, it's still in me. But I know he deserves more. So it's like I don't have a like I tell people all the time, I don't have a ceiling on my house. I don't have a roof that, all right, you reached here, Trey. You good. Oh, because it's just so much more.
Mhm.
And that's I think that's what my purpose and testimony is just more. It may take time, it may take longer, it may be quicker. Some things I've been blessed with, like this. Graduated, got a big boy job. Didn't even know that was gonna happen. Most people in my career, they take them 2, 3 years. But God, you know what I mean? He accelerates when needed.
Mhm.
Other than that, you gotta wait till it's like you said, when you're ready for it.
Yeah.
So my thing is, I asked about the move because it's a lot of people, and not even just moving wise, there's a lot of people that don't know how to take that next step. And you said something that was important. A lot of people didn't believe in it. And that's the aspect I want to touch base on is because what I mentioned before in the previous episode, a lot of people have visions, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has their own lenses. But when we mention our visions to them, they don't see it how we see it.
They
So
don't.
sometimes even when they say, "Oh, that's a good idea," they don't even really mean this shit. They just say it because it's you. They don't actually be
Woo!
like, "Let me put myself in his shoes and be like, damn, does this shit work? Is the camera a little crooked? Does it make sense? Will he actually succeed?" Most people be like, "Okay, yeah, I don't think it's a good move to go to Florida because okay, now you'll be away. You don't know nobody." But they don't look at it like you can meet people. They don't look at it like the same way you met them, the same way you can meet somebody else, the same way you built there, the same way you could build there. They don't look at all that because it's like worst come to worst, this gonna happen to you. But if you just stay, it'll never happen.
And something about that is those types of people who live like that, who talk like that,
Hmm.
because there's power in the tongue.
Absolutely.
There's life and death in the tongue.
Hmm.
So people who are negative and they speak that way, look at how things are for them.
It follows them.
And but not just in like the spiritual aspect and just like the physical aspect. When those people say that, they're scared themselves. They wouldn't do a move like that because they're comfortable.
Hmm.
And because they're comfortable, they're gonna be comfortable for years until they get to that point when they're older, like you mentioned, and they're like, I had this whole life and nothing worked out for me. It's because you didn't take a leap of faith. How are you gonna know things if you don't take a leap? How are you gonna get to the other side if you don't jump to the other side? Like how are you gonna know if you can even make the jump
Hmm.
if you don't try? Again, that's really what it is.
Comfort is a new drug. I tell people I preach that on here so much because I was comfortable. I tell people my biggest thing, and I wish I could I really want to find out how I can make this into a quote
Okay.
because
Hopefully, I'm here for it, so
my
I'll be
thing
here for
is
history.
I tell you some just a little bit about how my depression lasted so long.
Okay.
Comfort, right?
Woo!
See these four walls we got in here? I was like that in my house. I didn't leave. I didn't do anything. I had
Mm,
people invite me out, friends. The friends I help, when they invite me out to go do stuff, to celebrate and do stuff, I wouldn't go because I felt like I'm not worthy to be around y'all. Y'all don't know what I'm going through. Like, come on now. Like, you don't know. If you knew, you probably be like, man, get the hell away from me. But that's what I was thinking. And
mhm,
it ate away at me for so long because of the comfort. Because I know I'm comfortable in my crib. I can do whatever I wanna do. I can play the game, I can eat, I can sleep, I can do whatever I wanna do, and nobody will judge me. And that's the biggest thing with comfort. People are afraid of being judged by taking that action.
Mm.
So with me being afraid to be judged, like just going around people that I know and love, and I'd be like, "Yeah, man, I'm going through this, man. I only got fucking $20 to my name." You know what I mean? And some people like, "Damn, you broke," but I don't wanna hear that. I didn't wanna hear that years ago, like, "You calling me broke?" I know I'm broke. I'm trying to change it, but will you accept it? You know what I mean? But that was my reality, like, financially, I was messed up, like, I said before in one of the episodes that's about to come out, whenever this season is done, in my recap, I'm gonna include how in 2022, when I moved into my first apartment from my hometown, I moved with $3,000. Literally months later, I end up having negative $200 in my name. Still having to pay rent, still gotta pay for my car, still gotta get gas, but I was just everybody else seen me as this happy version. I got messages from that year, "Man, man, you doing it big, man. You out of this, out of that." Whole time I'm dying inside, you know? And my thing is, I mention all that to mention this. Anybody that's watching this, you seen it with her, you seen it with me, and I'm pretty sure you've seen it with somebody else. That one decision that you have in the back of your head could change your life. And a
Mm.
lot of people try to calculate risk, and it's no numbers, it's no words, it's no letters, nothing that will equal up to what your risk will come out of. You don't know the outcome of nothing until you do it. So that's why I asked you that, because a lot of people are scared. Like I said, a lot of people are scared. They want to be where you are, but they scared to do what you did.
I'm telling you, I'm so serious. If it wasn't for God, I really wouldn't be here. I'm gonna tell you how everything really happened.
Go ahead.
So God definitely gave me the courage to come out here because I've always said I wanted to move to Florida, but I would have been scared to do it.
Mhm.
For real. If it was just up to me, I would have been scared to do it. But like I said, I had a prayer board and I had 5 envelopes on it. I had family, future, faith was in the middle. I had Florida and finances. Faith was in the middle because all of those outside envelopes, none of that stuff was going to happen without faith.
Mhm.
I would make prayers. I would have like a post-it note, a postcard, right? You could say, and I would write down my prayer. Like, God, I pray that I can move to Florida and that I find a great job and all this stuff. And then on the back of it, I would put verses that would justify that. Like, God will provide, or, you lack nothing. The Lord is your shepherd. I would just write stuff down. Same thing for all the other envelopes. And all of those envelopes have come true because of the Lord.
Mhm.
Because of faith in the Lord.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna tell you something too, in a second, but, yeah, future, I graduated. I had that in my future envelope. I moved to Florida, praying for my family. They're God bless, they're my favorite people. I love y'all. 'Cause they're gonna watch
Mhm.
this. Um
What's up, y'all? It's me, Trey.
so I had that and finances. But, I didn't the whole, like, Florida thing did not look all fine and dandy in real life. It
Mhm.
didn't. It didn't. When I first came here, I joined a job. I hated it, but it was a job that allowed me to move here and get a place, get approved, and all that stuff. While I was at the job, my childhood dog, since I was in elementary school, she passed away. And that girl, best friend. So that was like, like just seeing how I'm growing up. I'm in Florida. The things in my childhood are chipping away. Like I was thinking really deep. I didn't think really deep,
Transitioning.
and it's like, oh my goodness, all those things. Like I'm not a baby anymore. So that happened. I left my job. I left that job, and I didn't have like a stable income. I joined like this virtual sales thing, which didn't really work out. So, really, it I really didn't have a job. and I was still out here from October, I would say, like, hmm, it was probably, like, 2 months. I got my new job in November, but it probably was, like, September, October.
Mhm.
Um,
Around the time I met you.
yes, yes, and I didn't have a job. I still had to pay rent. I was living by myself. I don't have my mom, she always helps me in so many ways, but I don't have, like, a whole s I have a support system, but I didn't feel comfortable, like, saying, "Hey, can you help me out?" Like,
Mhm,
no, I didn't. I did pray to God, I did tell my friends, because you don't wanna go through things alone, you
mhm,
don't. So I ended up telling my mom, and because I was afraid, I was like, "Oh, they're gonna think I made the wrong decision." But no, people that really love you, they're gonna help you, and they're gonna see that dream because of you,
mhm.
you know? So they definitely helped support me, and now through, like, I got the job through the whole time. I was praying and I used to cry because I was like, "God, what is this? Like, I have no job. These bills are crazy." Um,
Life gets real, man.
and one thing I learned from that is you have to worship through it. Literally, I would log off of that, like, virtual sales job, and, I would just put on full, like, gospel loud, just dance even though I really wanted to cry, even though I didn't have the dance in me.
Mhm.
I just played it, I danced to it and praised him. That's what you gotta do. And now things are really good. Praise the Lord. They are. They're definitely in a way better place. I feel like I had to go through a little test myself even when I got to the promised land.
Mhm.
Everything is not gonna be so great. And Florida to me was my promised land. So, it's never always gonna be so smooth. I really thought that my transition here was gonna be so beautiful and sparkly and shiny, and it really wasn't. It really wasn't. And then you gotta think about those nights where I was homesick and I was crying and I felt alone. I don't have friends. But on the outside, people are seeing me like see so many beautiful things, which that's the truth. I'm seeing beautiful things. I'm seeing so many places and the beaches are cleaner and it's really beautiful out here and I've been met with many opportunities and I thank God for all of that, but nobody thinks about what people go through
Mhm.
for real
Facts.
inside.
Mm,
They don't know any of that. Like all these big artists or all the people that you guys like look up to or you're inspired by, you don't know what they're going on behind the scenes. You really don't. You truly don't. So everything, nobody's life is as like
it's
perfect.
not all peaches and cream. I tell people all the time the lifestyle that you really are out here admiring and that you want that somebody else's, you probably don't really want once you see what's going on behind the
You
scenes.
don't.
It's a lot. That's what I tell people all the time. Like, I want to be wealthy.
Mhm.
I don't want to be rich. A lot of rich people deal with so many mental health issues. I'd
They're
rather
trying to
be
keep up, like, the culture
exactly.
and
That's the point. Rich people, it's I think it's the difference between wealthy and rich. Wealthy
it
is an
is.
expansion. Rich, you got money, but you're not handling everything. You just have money. It looks good, seems good, but it's not good.
That is very true.
But my thing is, a lot of people admire like celebrities. Oh, I wish I was such and such. No, you don't. It's a lot of, and I see it more within these past few years. A lot of celebrities are killing themselves, especially athletes, other people overdosing, rappers. A lot of people are going through battles, and people think because they have the currency that it solves them. None of that is solvable. It's not. You cannot. A lot of people say money can fix your problems when in reality it may can fix the materialistic and maybe physical problems, but that internal stuff, that's what really determines how long you're gonna live.
Yeah.
Because if you can't function up here, all this other stuff, it don't work. I don't care how rich you is, I don't care how smart you is. If this don't work, you're gonna lose every time because your mental and your heart play a factor. If you can't win your emotions over with your mind, your emotions will win the war every single time.
You know, I think what being rich is family,
Mhm,
is traveling, experiences, memories,
mhm,
friends, a great support system.
Mhm,
You're able to see the world, you're able to see so many things. I
mhm.
think that's what's rich. Like, I think that's what life is really
That's what it's
about.
supposed to be.
That's what it is. And also, you know, the Bible does tell us to like store treasures in heaven because what are you going to do if you have physical treasures here and you die? Where's that going to
Right,
go?
going right to the bank or the next person up. It ain't
It
no bump beds in the casket. You're going out alone and everything that you I was just it's crazy. So I was just telling my buddy the other day. I told him, I said, because me and him we got this thing going on where we both got something going on. But I said, bro, it's so crazy to know that in life you work so hard to have so many things. You work so hard to take care of so many people and to do so many things, but the day you die, it don't go with you.
I'm going to tell you this cuz you should read Ecclesiastes. It's really good and it talks about that. It talks about that.
Is it it's a book
Um
or is it like
it's a book. It's Ecclesiastes and Solomon wrote it, I believe.
wait, that's Bible?
Mhm.
Oh, I never heard that.
Yeah.
So let me
And
since
you
we're
know
on the
it's
since we're
they
on the
call
topic.
him the most wisest person.
Hmm, that's what you see what I'm saying about the knowledge though.
He had all the wisdom in the world, but you can't really be so the only thing that's gonna fill you up is the Lord.
Mhm.
That man had 700 plus wives. You gotta look him up.
Yeah, I need to check that boy out, man.
No, it's really good. It's so good. It tells you that there's a time for everything. There's a
Yeah,
time for everything.
I definitely look into that because it's one particular book in the Bible that I really 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 harp on, and I I really compare my life to it is Job.
Mm,
And the reason being is because, and like I said, this is me not knowing verses and stuff like that. I think during my time of just looking things up and just off my personal experiences and what things I go through, Job always show up. And so I took the actual time out and I was like, let me just watch something. Like I know recently, probably a couple months ago, probably right before we met, I was like, it gotta be a movie about the Bible. Like I'm a very visual person. I like visual things. I like audios and stuff like that. And I was like, it gotta be a movie about the Bible. It just gotta be. So I was like, let me just isolate it and go into Job. Give me 15 minutes of Job. 15, 20 minutes. And I watched, I'm like, I almost broke down because I'm like, it's the thing like where you've been battle tested so long, but you still have to remain faithful. And seeing that that was his story, he lost everything, still showed up. It's just like you think about like, okay, I lost a little bit and I'm over here crying, but somebody lost it all and still showed up. What excuse do I really have? And I always turn to that version whenever I get, when I start taking things for granted and I start to question myself, I just go watch that same video.
mm,
Because somebody out here lost it all. Somebody out here lost their house, their car, they lost their parents. I have everything to be thankful for
yeah.
and still be faithful.
And that's why kinda going to the beginning of our conversation when I mentioned, like, satisfaction.
Mhm,
I think about that all the time. I'm like, "Wait, I'm so blessed. I have all these things."
mhm,
It's it's crazy.
mhm. It's and that's where I catch myself at in the time. I'm in therapy now. I just started therapy in I want to say November, December.
Mhm.
So I just started therapy, and like the first conversation I had with my therapist, she was just like, "Oh, break it down, like just tell me about yourself. What have you done? Just give me the full run." I'm like, "Oh, da 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 da." Da." And she was like, "So how do you celebrate?" I was like, "I don't. What am I celebrating?" She's like, "She's like, you need to stop. Like, just think." She's like, "I'm gonna just give you 5 minutes to think." And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I don't know what this lady talking about. And she says, "What have you thought about that you could celebrate?" I was like, "Nothing." She's like, "You've done everything that people wish they can do and that they still want to do. And some people quit while they're on that journey And she was like, "Your list is so long. You have every reason to celebrate, even just jumping, yelling, something." Like, and I that's why I say, like, now it's like every time I take that second for granted, I'm just like, "Bro, my life could be worse." I've
It's
went through
true.
situations where people killed themselves, where people gave up, where they would have done anything to just be away. And I'm still here present, successful. I have a career, I have a home, I have a car, I'm breathing, I'm healthy. I have
Yes.
all these things because God gave it to me. And I'm sometimes, like you said, like we both said, sometimes we get in that mode and just like, damn, like that's it. Like what's more? But
And I and I and I don't like that feeling though. It
what
just feels so
it's because I'm thankful,
it
ungrateful.
it does.
But
And also too, it's because you're not gonna be filled, you're not gonna get that satisfaction unless it's like the Lord. He's the only one that's gonna fill you up. That's why I'm saying, like, still, I have to still go to him and get and just have, like, more of an intimate relationship with him. I used to, but like I said, I got in a place where I got complacent and, you know, when you're with when you're in a relationship with the Lord, like, you start to appreciate things. Before I even talked to God and I, like, knew about him, I would only pray for, like, when I would go to sleep or when I would say grace, and I would only talk to him when I was low at a low place.
mhm,
But now I'm like, "Thank you, God, for these chicken wings." You know, like,
mhm,
"Thank you, God, for this butterfly." Like, I don't know, it's
mhm.
just the little things.
They all
It
matter.
really is. Thank you, God, that I woke up.
Mhm.
Thank you, God, that it's a nice day outside. Like, it makes you think. It really changes your perspective because not only are you just so. Because before you have a relationship with God, you're doing everything on your own, you're thinking about yourself,
Mhm.
it's just you. But until you surrender and open up yourself and it's like, "Lord, like, I need you," then you start to not only have a relationship with the one who's gonna provide everything for you, but you start to appreciate everything. You start to wanna give to others. It's not all about you, it's about everybody. It's about love. That's what it is, and it's not, like, a selfish thing. The whole gospel is about love. That's really what it is.
So you just said something. You said it's about everybody else. This question was on my mind. I was like, should I ask her? I don't know. But now that you bring up everybody, how do you handle people not being in that same mind space as you when it comes to spirituality? Like if you have some people that's around you that don't believe or that think it's like it's not worth doing or don't think it's like something that, it's not a necessity. Like it's like I hate to say it, but on a need to basis when it's their desires. That's the only time they see it like as something that's good. How do you handle being around people like that? Because I'm not sure. Like I don't know you. This is our first real conversation, but I don't know you that well to know if all your friends are like that or if you.
No.
So how do you?
Neither is my
Yeah.
family.
So how
My
do you
like,
handle
we
that?
all like, my friends, they know God, they
Mhm,
pray to God. My family, they know God, they pray to God. They may not be, like, as deep as I am, but there's other people that are deeper than me, you know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes, like, reading your Bible every day,
mhm,
like, stuff like that. But, we all I like to be around people who are like-minded. We're all different, but it's like, okay, I even know someone who doesn't believe in God, but what I do is just continue to give them love. I continue to talk about God,
mhm.
okay?
Yeah.
I continue to talk about God because they 'cause they're gonna believe what they're gonna believe. Imma believe what Imma
Mhm.
believe, but I'm gonna say it so much and give them love, and then there's gonna be a point where they're gonna be curious. That's just what I
That's real.
believe. I think that they're gonna be like, "I have nobody to turn to." That's how
Mhm,
I came to God. I didn't grow up in church, like,
mhm,
you know what I'm saying? So I think that's really what it is. It's just giving the love of the Lord, like giving the love of Jesus. That's how people respond. Like when you give that, they respond differently.
mhm,
And I did have a part. in the beginning of my walk where I kind of got rid of all of the things that I used to do, like smoking and all that stuff. And um, I was in a place where I was kind of just looking at people like, couldn't do that. Like, no, that's not what this is about. And God, he had to check me. He had to check
Humbled
me.
you
He did.
because you were once that.
Oh, he did.
Mhm.
He still that. Cause it's like you may not struggle with something that somebody else struggles with,
Mhm,
but you have a struggle that somebody doesn't struggle with.
mhm.
Like, who are you to say
It's
anything?
twofold.
Let me tell this story. And this is the last story. I feel like we should end it off on this because this is so good.
Yeah,
And tell me your questions about it.
we coming to the end.
Tell me your questions about it
Mhm.
because this is good. I really feel like this, okay? So, have you ever heard of the story about the adulterous woman in the Bible? Okay. So, there's a lady in the Bible who was doing adultery.
She getting it on.
she
Yeah, she getting it on.
she was getting it on.
Mhm.
But there were people that were surrounding her, and they all had like stones, and they were about to stone her, like shame her, judge her, like shame, like stone her body. And Jesus came and he was like, I'm paraphrasing, but he was like, throw a stone if you never sinned before or whatever, something like that. He was like, if you just never sinned before, Lord, help me with it, because I know it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't say it. What is the verse? Because I don't know. I got a little nervous. But it says, he who has not sinned, throw the first stone. Thank you, Jesus. Nobody could throw a stone to the lady
Mhm,
because everybody sins.
mhm.
So they all started leaving one by one and left her. And Jesus came to her and was like, he like picked her up, got her off the ground, and he said, sin no more. Like he loved her. And now she's like, oh, now I don't know how she was at the end because that was really the end of the story.
Yeah.
But that probably really changed her way of living. Like, oh my gosh, Jesus loves me.
Mhm,
Like, I don't want to sin anymore. Like, I don't want to do this anymore, you know? Love really changes things. People respond to love.
mhm.
And it's really based on how you respond to people. Because, for instance, let's say someone says something insanely crazy to you. Are you going to be like, man, F you? Or are you going to be like, okay, I hope you have a great day?
Mhm. It's crazy because we talked about that yesterday. We talked about that yesterday on the
I know it
podcast.
sounds crazy
No, it's real
because
because
I know you want to rebel and tussle, but that's not what you can do. Like, what is that going to change?
that happened to we talked about that yesterday. Shout out my boy Nate, man. You the one that brought it up yesterday. And we basically touched base on the concept of responses and reactions and how they come with consequences. Because I'm big on responses.
Yeah.
I feel like the way you do anything, any action you take will lead into something else,
Hmm.
no matter what it is. Silence always comes with a consequence. Anything comes with a consequence. It don't matter what it is.
Yeah.
What we were talking about was like he was talking about his development as a man. Because the last time he was on my podcast, which was last year, he was going through a lot, but he wasn't completely honest with it. He was basically saying that the way he would respond then to somebody if they come at him crazy is different for how he will respond now. But what
Mm.
I told him is this, and I'm gonna leave it at this. The way you respond, if you I always tell people, you fight negative with negative, you're just gonna get a bigger fucking negative. You fight positive with negative, you win because that person is already mad. The most you can do is say something that will make them more mad and they'll realize they don't, I'm tripping, or they'll realize I was a waste of my damn time. But as soon as you feed into they bullshit, and excuse my language, I know the family's watching, sorry, but excuse my language, but
No, they are fine. They're
when
fine.
you entertain bullshit, you are bullshit. That's why I don't feed into negativity. I like laughing. Like how you're very bubbly. Like when people, like I tell people all the time, when you make me mad, you will know I'm mad because I'm going to laugh. I fight anger with laughter. Even when
Mm.
it's like the opposite. Like when I'm sad, I'm mad. It's the opposite for me. So whenever somebody come at me and I like, they, oh, F you, that is, you ain't shit. I just start laughing because it's like,
Yeah.
you really think that, but it's cool because you don't know me. You
Mm.
don't like, it's just, you don't fight negatives with negatives. The people that are saying these things to you, they don't know you for real. They don't care about you for real. They don't love you for real, like you said. So why let that affect you? Who who are who are these people?
I've always heard if they're not paying your bills,
Man, I tell
if they're not, it's, but
listen,
no, that used to be the saying back in the day. It's like, they pay your lights, they pay your bill. No, whole time, did you,
man.
what are you really doing to me? Like,
I,
who really are you? Seriously. They don't really do anything to you.
I
They're
ain't
not,
losing nothing.
yeah, you're not. So it's like, you might as well just, God bless, walk away.
Yep. I told
Still
my
working on that though.
yeah, it takes time. I told my other guest, Kiana, her episode is dropping tomorrow
Mhm.
because she
Ooh.
asked me what's the difference between boundaries and grace. I said you
Mhm.
can extend grace with limited access. Boundaries, when somebody cross your boundaries, you are then losing something. Whenever
Mhm.
somebody cross my boundaries, I am losing something. I told her the best example is somebody disrupts my peace. You are now interfering with my boundary.
Mhm.
Because if I don't have peace, now my mental is fucked up and my mental ties into my money, my well being, my physique. It ties into everything about
Mm.
how I conduct my life. But
Mm.
grace, you can say something like, "Oh, F you, and I don't feel bothered by it, but I give you grace because I know you going through something that you battling right now. It don't affect me,
It's true.
but I'm gonna give you grace,
And
but you
that's why
won't
you
have that."
respond with love.
Mhm. And now your access is limited, but when you cross a boundary, oh, I got the biggest action in the world. You gone.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm gonna end it off like that. This was a great conversation.
This is
Um,
awesome.
yeah, and I hope this helps you get into your groove again because I would love to see another fellow podcaster in Tampa. There's plenty other ones. I'm not dissing them, but they don't gravitate towards me. I don't gravitate towards them. It is what it is. But to know another podcaster that's local, just know if you do start that back up, I'm gonna be the battery in your back. I'm gonna help you elevate at the highest level because I do it with all my other podcast buddies. So as soon as you say, "Oh, Trey, I'm about to," let's do it. Hey, send you this link, this link, this link. Tell you whatever you need. So whenever God moves you to make that journey again, if it's years from now,
It
just know
won't be. It
this.
won't be. It'll be very soon, and I know that for sure because God has been constantly having people come to me about the podcast.
Remember the title of your podcast, Destined to Talk.
Destined to talk.
It's already destined. Don't run away from it.
Woo!
But I do like to end my episodes in a particular way. However, uh, I want you, or if you can, to give 3 truths to the world, either to the world, to your younger self, or just to society that you think they should hear, learn, or do. Um, just in general, whatever you have that you want to share with the world.
About anything.
Anything. It could be anything. It could be tell people to eat more, don't buy lettuce, whatever you want to tell them.
Okay. Um, and Imma say these things based off me,
Mhm,
something that I feel has helped me.
mhm,
I would say go in your house and, like, dance like nobody's watching. Seriously. I dance like I'm on Soul Train every night. Like, you can ask my family. I dance every night before I go to sleep. Before I end my day, I end it with a dance. I'm happy, I'm dancing, I'm getting groovy, whatever it is, because I'm old soul.
mhm.
But dance, like, just enjoy yourself. Even if you go out with your friends, dance, because nobody be dancing
They don't
in
do that no
no
more.
more. No, we need to bring that back so I can do my dance
Yeah.
routine. We could do a little white chicks dance battle. Little little stomp the yard, you know what I'm saying? So dance, I would also say like pray. That's the main thing. Pray, but don't just pray about anything. Like not pray about anything, but just don't pray and fake your words. That's what I mean. Like just don't do that. Pray in truth.
Mm,
Really go to God and say, like, "I'm struggling with this. I need your help." Don't be like, don't fake it.
Mhm.
God listens to prayers that are truthful, like, seriously, because He knows the truth. Why you lying to God? And then my third thing is to give somebody a hug today. Give somebody a hug today. It could be anybody. It could be a coworker. It could be a friend, someone you see off the street. If the Lord is like, give that person a hug. I've had that happen before, where God will like make someone significant in my eyes to me, and He's like, give that person a hug. And I'm like, hi, how are you? And just give them a hug. You never know what anybody's going through.
Mhm.
And you don't know what that hug is stopping them to do. You really don't. And then you don't know what that hug opened their eyes to.
Mhm.
So give someone a hug today. That's my 3 things.
That's real, that's real, that's real. So, that's gonna be the end, and, before we go ahead and conclude, go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you at on social media. Please mention your podcast name, where they
I
can find you.
will, I will. Okay, so you can find me at Destiny Isis. That's DESTINIEIYSIS. That's my first and middle name. For my podcast, you can still find it on my personal that I just gave you. But the podcast is Destined to Talk, and we talk about testimonies. We talk about kind of what we talked about, like life, like inspiring each other and speaking encouraging words. That's really what it's about. So I'm gonna get back on that. I'm actually about to do that right after this. I'm like-
Y'all.
but you can find me there, and I'd love to just meet like everybody or see everybody too. Like I love to hear everyone's testimony. So I do want to bring people on on the show. So as I don't know much people in Tampa, if you are in Tampa, reach out to me. If you want to tell your story, if you want to network and meet, collab, connect, let me know. Let me know because you would definitely be on it too. So be ready.
Hey, man, hey, everybody, the people that let me not even say that. Only one person had me on their podcast, and that episode was, in a sense, my testimony.
Aw.
So, anybody that knows me, I've done speaking events for mental health and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I always like sitting on the other side because my
Okay.
way of things and thinking is I would say is very unique. So I'm ready whenever the
Yes.
invitation is there. I will be there, no
Okay.
matter the day or time. So,
So y'all be ready for that too.
mhm, coming soon.
Yes.
So, yeah, good episode, man. I really appreciate you for coming out. Like I said before, I give you flowers. Just
Thank you.
being able to be vulnerable and share a lot with everybody. And like guys, I asked her in September, so being able to come up here now, what I mean, with her own will and be able to just to come and trust me because this is our real first conversation.
This is
So just being able to trust a stranger, you know what I mean, and really, really just pour into other people because I know this episode is going to touch a lot of people. I'm going to make sure of it. So
oh,
I
thank
definitely
you.
appreciate you, and yeah, I hope
I
you enjoyed your time.
appreciate you getting me out my comfort zone. Now I gotta get back into what the Lord's called me to do. Same thing with you guys. Get back to what the Lord's calling y'all to do.
Hmm?
I know it takes some time, but we gonna get there.
For sure.
Yay!
For sure. Yeah, man. And y'all know how I am with the outro. Gone.